My question is, the Ravens did everything that we asked them to do this season in terms of they got Lamar help. They brought in his boy OBJ. They drafted Zay Flowers. Isaiah likely emerged. Obviously, they didn't have Mark Andrews for the majority of the season. They got the offensive mind at offensive coordinator. They keep on improving and improving this defense to where it was arguably the best defense in the NFL this year. What is the next move for the Ravens?
Woof.
They have some key free agents. Justin Matabikwe is a free agent, had a breakout year for them. Patrick Queen's Patrick Queen, I think, already thinks he's gone. I think he's already saying goodbye to
Yeah,
them.
he's getting a bag.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Not what do you think they do, but I want to know what you guys think. Put your GM hat on for a second. Let's just say, what's their biggest need going into this offseason? That's the question I'll ask.
So it's so tough because, like, you had the best defense in the league all season. Your defense showed up when it mattered. So what went wrong when it couldn't go wrong? And I think we all agree that they just it was mainly that the run game just couldn't get going, which then leads to the passing game not working out, because if you're playing one dimensional, you're going to get figured out.
Right.
I don't know what the move is in terms of.
I think those are the two answers.
Yeah.
Do you go get a running back? Like, what? I think they're going to do their best to address both of those things this offseason. But my question is, what's the most important? So we could probably narrow it down to those two things. What's more important? Getting an actual running back? Because let's be real, Justice Hill and Gus Edwards.
Not getting it done.
Right.
Yeah.
They had
Keaton
good
Mitchell.
seasons and they're good players. And you don't need a superstar with Lamar, but they could use an upgrade there. And their pass catchers, for as much as they improved this year, they don't have a good passing attack still. So what's more important to you guys? Getting a better running back or adding another pass catcher next to Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers?
So
Can I say?
Yeah, jump in. Go ahead.
I think this made a big difference, and I should have mentioned this before. Keaton Mitchell not being there for the rest of the season was huge. Keaton Mitchell was the explosive guy for this team. He was unbelievable when he was playing, averaging nearly 8 yards per carry. He was the Devon Achane of this team. That's what he was. So Keaton not being there, him coming back, hopefully finding health throughout the entirety of the season. Obviously, we've seen guys get healthy come later in the year after the ACL. I hope that happens for him. And that will help. Just by itself, that will help this offense. Now I let you go ahead and say what you were going to say.
You'll let me.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that Keaton Mitchell thing out there. He's a baller.
Yeah, he is a baller. Yeah. So in terms of getting a pass catcher or a running back, let's see. I look at my quarterback. I say, what is this guy best at? He's best at running the football, but he's really best when he's doing both. When he's diming up everyone and he's running the football. So then I'm trying to make a point here.
Oh, I hate when that happens. When you say
I had my whole exactly,
but you have no idea what the point
fucking
is.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still like deciding in my head what the move is. I think pass catchers are usually harder to come by, whereas running backs are usually easier to come across. But the Ravens haven't had a good running back. Granted, they had Dobbins and he always gets hurt, but
I forgot he existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
They haven't had a good, like an above average running back in years.
Since Ray, man. Shout out to Ray, man.
Touchy subject.
Ray the football player.
Ray does a lot to
Ray
try to
football
improve his
player.
image, I guess. Kinda.
Sure.
He does.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing.
That's crazy. They have two guys named Ray.
And they're both
No, not that one.
Not that Ray.
Ray
He actually
Quinoa.
does.
both felons.
He does like
Ray Quinoa.
I'm pretty sure some what's it called? What are they called when you go?
I mean, they had a
You do public
Ray appreciation night or whatever.
No,
so.
he does public speaking for like all that stuff.
Oh, well,
He
that makes
does.
up for
Like,
everything.
Him and yeah. No, it doesn't.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
it
kidding.
doesn't. But like,
I'm obviously
he's
kidding.
still with her, and you know he
Moving on.
His wife says he tries.
My answer is that pass catcher is the top need for this
Okay.
team. I think having Lamar Jackson by himself, you will have at bare minimum a top 10 rushing attack in the NFL.
Yeah.
We saw it. They were rotating guys in and out at that running back position this year. And like I said, they were the best running team in football this year. So I don't think they need to go out and get like a Derrick Henry or anything like that. But, you know, if there is a way that they could finagle their cap room a little bit and get a T. Higgins, maybe somehow bring in Mike. I don't know how likely it is with the cap space, but if they could finagle their way into getting one of those guys, like, I feel like this team is the clear preseason Super Bowl favorite.
I don't even know if they need a guy like on that level either. That's the thing too, is because their passing offense was really good. Again, I don't know how this will work with cap space, but what if they go get like Mike Williams or something like that? Like that would be. I don't know how that works.
If he's healthy,
right?
Mike Williams on this offense will move me.
Yeah,
but I don't think they need a Mike Williams. I don't think they need any of those guys in terms of their archetype. Mike Williams, T. Higgins, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
They need a separator.
Yeah.
They need guys who could separate, and when Lamar's getting out of structure and stuff like that, those guys can be open. They need guys who could get open. That was their biggest struggle this year. That was guys getting open. So yeah, I think pass catcher is definitely their biggest need.
So I'm playing Ravens GM on Spotrac right now, and I'm just trying to figure out like what.
I said, who's that?
It's an ad on the bottom right of my screen.
Call my eye.
Wonder what that ad is. Anyways, I saw that there's a very real like avenue for them to just do a few restructures that wouldn't be crazy and make a lot of sense. And it gets them to around $50 million in cap space. That's before re-signing anybody.
Good Lord.
So there's ability here to open yourself up. But as you said, there's two key free agents here in Patrick Queen and Justin Madubuike. Those are the two guys that you're going to look at and you're probably going to be like, okay, these are probably our first two priorities in trying to get back.
I think for the sake of this experiment that we're doing, if you're going to go forward and play Ravens GM, I think we should consider Patrick Queen gone.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just think the money that I know he's so impactful and so important for them, but the money that he's going to ask for and having a guy like Roquan already, I just think they could allocate their resources elsewhere.
The Ravens are also great at
drafting linebackers.
Yeah, drafting linebackers.
Jadeveon Clowney's another guy.
Not so great at drafting receivers.
But realistically, you could probably replace Jadeveon Clowney. Regardless, you probably got to re-sign Madubuike.
Yeah.
That's the start.
Yeah.
You got to get him back. He was a key piece of you being as good as you were at rushing the passer throughout the entirety of the season, leading the league in sacks, all that stuff. Cool. So you go ahead, you try to sign Justin Madubuike, and he's probably going to cost around $20 million a season, right? So that cuts significantly into your $50 million of cap space. Probably going to be a $20 million cap hit for this coming season. Now you're down to 30. Okay, so now we go to free agents, and you guys said you want a wide receiver.
I want the widest of wide receivers.
You want the widest of all the wide receivers. So here's a possibility. Maybe a guy like Mike Evans is enticed with playing for a potential ring. Maybe he takes a little bit less than a guy like T. Higgins would take. And I think that's an interesting possibility as well.
Higgins going to cost too much money.
Michael Pittman Jr., if he somehow shakes loose, is another guy. Gabe Davis is an interesting choice for this Ravens team as a fit.
Gabe Davis on the Ravens would move mountains for me, actually.
That's crazy because you don't.
I don't think Gabe Davis is that good, but in terms of this team, I think he'd be perfect.
So Gabe Davis is a guy that I could see for around $13 million, $14 million a year. Cheaper wide receiver in terms of as opposed to a T. Higgins or a Michael Pittman or Mike Evans even. Hollywood Brown, maybe a reunion here. Who knows?
Never understood that. I guess
maybe a
reunion. I don't know.
Who the hell knows? But yeah, so there's options. If they want a receiver, there are options. And then who knows? Maybe they want to get themselves involved. They could shake a little bit more cap space in Brian Burns or Josh Allen sweepstakes to make a big splash. I mean, look, you could always restructure your quarterback
This defense would
and push money into the future because when you're just going to keep re-signing the guy, it doesn't really matter. So there are avenues for the Baltimore Ravens. If you guys are open to if you guys think a wide receiver signing is the best move, then there are definitely options. I just named 4 or 5 for you guys. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. And then there's options on the defensive side of the ball, re-signing your own guys, going out and getting a different guy. And it seems like most of their coaching staff is going to return, I would assume.
Seems to be a theme this offseason.
Unless Mike Macdonald, yeah, we didn't even mention that with Detroit, but unless Mike Macdonald ends up going to get one of these jobs right now, which is a distinct possibility at the current moment, given how many people are pulling out of the head coaching race right now. But the Ravens are in a good spot. I don't think they're screwed over yet, but they're going to need to make some moves.
Yeah.
Definitely going to need to make some moves this offseason. So what would I do if I'm them? I'd probably choose Gabe as a cheaper signing. Get back Justin Madubuike, and look, if possible, then I would get back Patrick Queen too, in my personal opinion. So that's where I would go. That's just where I'm at.